So let us walk on and walk up. You can see they've put a handrail up here, but we're going to try and do it without a handrail. If my voice stops, it's raining really hard. I'm not going to lie. It's Lavenham Part 2. So it is what it is. But we're here and we're going to enjoy it. So the street length of the old waterway, yes. So yeah, the straight, it all goes right the way down to the rhythm, with teeth in, at the bottom. So water, of course, doesn't flow uphill. So there's no water up at this side, which of course is almost certainly the reason why the Romans, having taken this very good sort of strategic point at the top of the hill, in order to be able to access better water sources and connect up to the sea, needed, of course, to develop it. So what they found in archaeology down here is that steps are cut in. So obviously at the moment I'm walking up the slope and sort of coming up towards midway, I would say, up steep hill. This is, by the way, a 1 in 7 gradient. I'm not sure how familiar you are with gradients, but that what it means, like Whitby, but worse actually. Every 7 yards that I walk, we're going up a yard. So 16%, is it? Something like that. It is one of the highest high streets in Britain in terms of kind of gradient. I think it's the 4th highest of all, as you can see. I'm starting to get out of breath from constantly talking, but it's worth it. And in a minute, I'm just going to stop at this kind of landing. We'll have a little look on the way down because it's just so lovely and so historic and so evocative and so different to York, which of course is all on a level. So let me just get us to this top bit and then we'll reflect on the journey so you can see quite how is that Shaftesbury, isn't it, in Dorset. If you look just into the distance there, you can probably see the lights of Brayford Pool where we started. We've essentially gone pretty much in this kind of straight line. And so if we go back to our image that we had of the Roman fortress on the hillside, you can kind of see now that we're sat very, very near. I love those chimney pots. They look fantastic, don't they? What a great postcard that is. And do you get a kind of sense now of the construction, if you like? Do you know, the topography and the landscape here? It is, I'm not doing too bad, I'm not too out of breath. I've talked all the way. We're not quite at the top just yet, but we're going to keep going. We're going to push on. But isn't it magical? I mean, that's the thing. This isn't just a case of always a big effort. It's how beautiful is it? The lamps and the snow, I mean, absolutely, it is to die for. Be in no doubt. This is super cute. If you're looking, let's a little bit of swirl there. Again, I'll try and kill that light with my brolly so we get a nice framing of the shot. Not easy. Kind of glare. That's quite nice. How's that? Well, we're not in a rush, are we? I don't do it once. It's not a jog. I am 53, in my defence. So I don't claim to be an athlete. It's all about stamina, isn't it? It's about keeping going when others would quit. So we keep going, we keep chatting, we keep talking, and we keep heading up the steep hill. So the coming down here in the daytime is kind of delightful because obviously it's kind of charming individual shops interspersed, of course, between these wonderful historic buildings. And just a young chap, absolutely, I'm only 53, so I've got time to grow out of it. That's what I say. That's what I think, anyway. And so again, beautiful 14th century medieval building. Are you never guess? You thought I was a lot older, Joanne? It's a bit harsh, but there you go. No, I'm guessing you mean I was a bit younger. So that's very nice you to say so. But I don't think it's true, but it's nice you to say so. And 53, young man, absolutely. So I'm putting my young legs to the test for you guys. So we're at the top, nearly. We're at Christ, the hospital. So there's Christ Hospitallers. So Hospitallers were, of course, a militant form of Christian crusaders. So again, very much kind of wrapped up in this period of history. This is, of course, a kind of place of faith. In the hospital, well, called the Hospitallers. But those were in Lavenham the other day. I got told off for calling it Wonky Town, which is a bit unfair because that's what the tourist guys call it. But it's not just Lavenham. We have wonky houses here as well. And a whippersnapper, there you go. So this little 14th century number over here is known locally as the Wonky House. It was a pub, but in 1938 they decided, my first Heygo, very interesting. What, first Heygo ever, or first Heygo with me, Wendy? Wendy, if it's your first Heygo, just give me a thumbs up to answer that. If it's your first Heygo with me, give me a love. Not literally, like a heart or something, so I understand. Ever. Fantastic. Wendy W. Everybody, just take a minute to say hello to Wendy W. to welcome her to this fab community of ours that none of us own, but we're all part of. Look at those lights now. So Wendy, you love it. Sorry if you had a life before. Get ready to just kind of chuck that in the bin. This is what you do from now on. And so on Michaelgate. So of course, Gate, the Viking. Michael, of course, the religious. St. Michael. And St. Michael, we're told, aren't we, is the man that's waiting for us. You know, Judgment Day, St. Michael with his scales. We get our souls weighed against our sins. And if our souls weigh less than our sins, down below we go, down the bottom of the hill. But if they're lighter, our sins, it's off to heaven we go. So there we go, that's St. Michael. So coming up right now to the top of Steep Hill, we've almost made it into the kind of cathedral quarter. So we're coming up into the area of the Norman castle. Unfortunately, the part of the kind of castle I was hoping to show you is covered in scaffolding, but no worries. We can still get some lovely kind of shots. So, of course, what the Romans had seen, William the Conqueror was an absolute expert in strategy. He saw as well. And if I just bring up a map, just before we get up to the top, have a look. So Lincoln is in the middle, left-hand side. Sorry, the eastern side. So the right-hand side of that picture, isn't it? A bit below York. And you can see it is a stop on Ermine Street. And Ermine Street, absolutely perfect trading, Alex. So Ermine Street was the Roman road built between York and Lincoln. It's a stop on Foss Way. So it links it down to the West Country. Where's the shop you get your teapot from? Wait, which one, Dawn? Let's have a look at Dawn's shop where she got her teapot from. Is it here, the Brook Bond Dividend Tea? It looks like a tea shop. So let's take that down. So yeah, when you click on the images, and we use images, don't use too many, but just to illustrate a point. Sometimes it's worthwhile just to be able to have a bit of additional kind of reference matter. So that enables you just to have a look. And so if you look at where Lincoln is, you'll see it makes it accessible to the River Trent, to the North Sea. And somebody was just saying about excellent trade routes. It's perfect. And this is, of course, what historical kind of locations were about, isn't it? Is you take, first of all, the high ground. Pretty much always, if there's a choice, take the high ground. 9 times out of 10, take the high ground. On the 10th occasion, think about it and then take the high ground. It's one of those. It's an absolute kind of no-brainer because nobody likes attacking uphill. It is bloody hard work. You think touring is hard work uphill. Imagine doing it in full armour, running in battle cry. When you get to the top, your enemies have been having a good long rest. They're ready for you. And all it takes is you to slip and fall, and you're down there. So you can be expected to have, horrible hot oils and water and sand being pelted off trying to come up. So always occupy the high ground. That's the kind of absolute route. It's a bit difficult with Alison on a Navy girl. You don't get high seas. You get the high seas, don't you? But on land battles, always assume the high ground. So the Romans knew it. The Vikings knew it. William the Conqueror knew it. This was the place to build your castle. So we're coming into Exchequer Gate right now. The Fudge Pantry. Now, if I walk past the Fudge Pantry in York, at times, if I'm going to go into a diabetic coma, the sugar and the butter in the air is so rich on the shambles that it just kind of is almost cloying. Now, I don't know if give me a thumbs up. Who really likes fudge? Let's just do a quick kind of straw poll. Because I'll tell you what I like. I like one piece of fudge occasionally. But if you go to a fudge shop, they sell you a half hundredweight. You can't sort of buy a regular small, taster portion of fudge, seemingly. They always want to give these enormous portions. And as I say, my blood sugar just races so high that, I kind of can't cope with it. But so it's wonderful, but you can have too much of a good thing. So here we are. we've made it to the top of Steep Hill. So we are the 2023 winners of Britain's greatest tour guide walk right to the top. Of